So reps might finally be dead. There's some huge news regarding one of the biggest replica sneaker and fashion distributors, aka Pandabuy, and it broke over the weekend. So long story short, what's happened is the Chinese government, along with the Chinese police, has officially raided Pandabuy warehouses. Now there's 6 Pandabuy warehouses in total, and currently one of the 6 has been fully raided. The Chinese police have taken 570,000 packages, and no one knows what they've done with these items. Obviously there's loads of fake stuff in there, Travis Scott, Nike products, Adidas products, New Balances. But let's be honest, they probably just straight up destroyed them. But what on earth has actually happened? I mean, how has this happened? Where are we now? What does this mean going forward? Well, I'm going to give my opinion a little bit and tell you a little bit about what's gone down. So if you don't know what Pandabuy is, it is one of the biggest distributors of replica goods in the world. There's a bunch of these agents, as people call them. Pandabuy is the most well-known. It's really blown up over the last few years thanks to social media and especially TikTok. So as mentioned earlier, the Chinese government are raiding Pandabuy. And the reason they're doing that is because 16 brands who are completely unnamed. Now, yes, all the brands are unnamed, but because of Nike's involvement in following lawsuits up with like people who deal with reps, there was a lawsuit case a few months ago, and it was something to do with Nike cracking down on certain content creators promoting reps. People are assuming Nike are one of the 16 brands at hand, which, let's be honest, they are probably involved at some point, and I get it why, because there's so many knockoff Nike products, man. I mean, honestly, the majority of Travis Scott Jordans you see on people's feet these days are probably reps. Obviously, this whole case has gone super viral, and with anything that gets a lot of attention, there's always fake speculation coming out, and I have seen some social media stuff that is just straight up stupid, including that people who buy reps are going to get arrested. Now, I disagree with reps on the biggest scale possible. I am super pro authentic goods. However, I can assure you that buying a fake pair of Jordans, the police aren't interested in you directly. They're not going to arrest you if you bought a little haul a few years ago. They're not going to crack down on you. They want to stop the source, which is the factories who are making these goods and the distributors like Pandabuy who are selling them. Believe me, the Chinese police do not care about a 15-year-old kid knocking about in a fake pair of Jordan 4s. So what does this mean for reps going forward? This is the biggest question. Where do we go from now? Because the industry is now worth billions, and there's so many people buying and wearing reps these days. And it's also been glorified. People celebrate wearing reps. Well, this is a monumental moment in rep history. Now, the brands involved are allegedly no small brands. They're big brands trying to protect themselves, and they have a lot of money and a lot of power. It was always going to happen. It's been a long time coming, but now it is actually time for it to happen. And in my opinion, it's going to be very hard for these rep factories and distributors to continue. I mean, how can they operate now? There's so many eyes on them. It's already a shady, kind of dodgy area. But because the industry is blown up so big, they can't get away with it being a small production. I mean, Pandabuy has nearly 2,000 people working for them. I think, in my opinion, this is definitely the beginning of a huge legal battle between reps and real. And I think because it's going to be such a public problem, it's going to be really hard for people to get reps over here in the UK and in the States. Maybe not like directly now, but going forward, I fully expect that the scale of reps is definitely going to have to come down a little bit. It's never ever going to stop because people are always going to find ways to manipulate the system. Now, at the moment, it's all dark, right? Pandabuy haven't really came out and said anything from my understanding. However, people in the know who are in these Discords and Reddits and all these community servers about reps and knockoffs have said that Pandabuy will be coming out some point this week to address the situation, and they expect to be back working again by the end of the week. Now, I don't know how that's going to be possible because the Chinese authorities are only one warehouse done. Like I said, they've only raided one of the 6 warehouses. So for the next however many days or weeks, I suspect they're going to be going full on seizing the rest of the goods in these massive facilities. Now, for someone like myself who messes with authentic goods, and I've made it obviously pretty public that I don't support reps, I am obviously pleased this is happening. It's the right thing to happen. It is effectively fraud. They're copying and taking the rights to a design that a designer from another company has made, and they're making profit on it, which is completely illegal. However, because the trend has got so big, there are a lot of kids and young adults and teenagers who are probably not going to get their items now and could be hundreds of pounds down. So I really do hope Pandabuy and these other companies do the right thing and reimburse them for the money that they've lost. Now, I know you could argue that the people buying from these places shouldn't be doing it in general, so it's their money lost. I do understand that completely, but people need to get that the trend has become so big. There's all these influencers promoting reps. How can you not expect a teenager who's very impressionable to not fall for all this marketing? One reason I'm happy this has happened, and I hope that it does stop the amount of reps being produced, is because over here in the UK and definitely in the States, every marketplace, eBay, Depop, Vinted, Facebook Marketplace, is scattered with people trying to scam others with fakes. There is just fake shoes and clothing everywhere. I mean, we're talking brands from Supreme, Palace, Cortez, Canada Goose, Moncler, Jordans, every brand you can imagine, even the smaller brands, even stuff like New Balance 550s that aren't that expensive, or even Jordan 1 mids. There's reps of them absolutely everywhere, and there's just so many people selling them as real when they're so clearly not. And people who don't know what they're looking for are being burnt because these reps are pretty good. No item is one-to-one, as they call it, but there's a lot of items that are very close, and to a human eye, it's nearly impossible to spot any differences between an original product and a fake product product. And what this does, it means a lot of people are scared of getting into streetwear and sneakers because they're fearful of buying a fake product because they don't know what they're looking out for. So in that regard, hopefully this means there will be less fakes on the secondary market. But for now, that's all we know. There'll be more information about this coming out later in the week. So if you do want to keep up to date with the situation, I will keep you posted. And maybe this really could be the beginning of the end for reps and fake sneakers and clothes. Remember guys, drop a like if you enjoyed. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for everything sneaker and streetwear related, boy.